Friday. TGIF, you know? So we can talk tax a little bit today. Yeah, there was an announcement just recently. So there's been a reprieve in the tax deadline. So the deadline to file your 2020 tax return, your 1040 tax return, that has now been pushed off till May 17th. It was April 15th, so now we have, you know, a little bit over a month additional time to file that tax return and pay those taxes that are due for 2020. So that's good news. If if you're like me and you're always, rushing to gather your stuff together and get your taxes into the accountant or CPA and get that stuff done and turn around and back and signed and off to the taxing authorities prior to the deadline. So I always request an extension. Mine is just automatic, really, for me. I do that well before the deadline. I'll probably do that. I haven't done it yet this year, but I'll do that probably the next week or so. And that way, I just give myself a little extra time to get my documentation together and get everything filed. Now, that doesn't mean that you get more time to pay, right? Because the extension is good till October 15th, presumably. I doubt they'll move that. And that gives you an extension of time to file your 2020 tax return, but it does not give you an extension of time to pay what you owe. So if you owe, what happens is you'll end up incurring interest and possibly some penalties for not paying on time, okay? So they expect you to pay, they expect you to estimate if you can't file your tax return and send them what you think you'll owe. If you're off, a little bit, then it's no big deal, it's an estimate. But they don't want you to end up, owing them a bunch of money and then you don't pay them until October. So get the money in, but you can wait on the tax return. A lot of people, they don't owe, you just get a refund. So if you're gonna get a little bit of a refund, when you file a little late or you file, in October, that's not a big deal. Now, one thing to keep in mind, this extension that they've given us, that the federal government has now given us to the IRS till May 17th to file our tax returns for 2020, that doesn't mean that you can wait to pay your estimated tax for 2021. So first quarter estimated tax, that is due as normal, unless they extend it, but so far they haven't done that. So this latest announcement only applies to 2020 taxes, and the deadline for that, which has now been pushed out to May 17th. So don't make that mistake, because frankly, that's how I end up with clients, because a lot of the clients that I see have gotten behind, or they don't make estimated payments like they're supposed to. They're self-employed, or there's some sort of uniqueness about their situation, and they don't pay those estimated taxes, and they end up getting into penalty situations, and they don't appreciate it, right? I mean, they feel like they're paying their taxes. Why am I getting penalized? Well, you've got to pay your estimated taxes every quarter, and you just got to do that, because it can be a big snowball effect where you end up owing penalties, and then you're trying to catch up on those, and then the next year hits and you find yourself in the same boat. Sometimes if you don't pay estimateds, you end up with a tax bill at the end of the year that's just so large that you can't pay it. You didn't set aside enough money, and then you end up owing the government money, and that's never good. So just if you got the money, just pay those estimateds. That's always a good idea, and in fact that's what you're supposed to do, so you should do that. But that's my public service announcement for the day as we drive into work. Thought I'd put that out. Hope you all have a good day, and get your tax documentation together, get in to see your CPA and your accountant and bookkeeper earlier the better. And if you do have any tax issues, or back tax problems, things that you need to resolve with the IRS and you haven't been able to do it, or it's just too large of a problem for you to even think about handling, that's what we do. So feel free to give us a call. The number's right there on the screen or right below. Or you can contact us at www.IRSExtends